The year barely started and we already have a bunch of games announced coming our way. Hello my friends and welcome to The Flying Kick. I am Savino and today we will take a look at what games are coming in 2025 and what you can expect from the year. This is not a definitive list because you know how these things are. Games are delayed and games are announced overnight, but at least we can already see that things look better than last year, which was a bit iffy. And now, without further ado, let's take a look at all games coming in 2025. Released on January 9th, School Hero is a single-player beat-em-up developed by the Greek studio G-Poly. The game was released for Steam only, and aside from a version for Android that is coming soon, there is no other version planned. Sorry, console dudes. You can catch my review right here, but to sum things up, this is a classic take on the genre, meaning no complex combos or juggles, but the game will require from the player a lot of speed and strategy to deal with some freaking crazy enemies. The game costs $4 and honestly, it's pretty fun to play. Check it out if this is your thing. Developed by the South Korean studio 2 O'Clock Soft, Final Night is a beat-em-up with roguelike elements where you control a group of 4 heroes while you hack and slash your way through a vast pixelated world. The game, which you can play with another friend, features 9 different characters from 4 unique classes, beautiful graphics and a very chaotic battlefield. Final Night was released this last 13th exclusively for Steam. It will cost you $14 and a review is coming to the channel pretty soon. While I'm not a huge fan of 3D beat-em-ups, I have to include this one. Resembling a mix of Castle Crashers and Little Big Planet, Big Helmet Heroes features a cast of 4 charming and unique heroes who are on a quest to, guess what? Save the princess. With 2-player co-op, you will cross beautiful landscapes, some of which are pretty, well, not that common, fighting enemies and facing huge bosses. Big Helmet Hero is coming to Steam, Epic Store, PlayStation and Nintendo Switch on February 6th, and of course, a review is coming soon. Developed by the Australian studio Art of Play, The Phantom is a beat-em-up based on the first man who dared to use his underwear over his pants. According to the developers, the game will offer a classic arcade combat, 15 levels and 2 playable characters. The Phantom is all hand-drawn and offers some of the best graphics you see in this list. Really, this game looks gorgeous. The Phantom will be released February 26th for Steam, Nintendo Switch, PlayStation and Xbox. At the moment, there's no price for the game.
Piracy, greed, and cruelty. May my sons and their sons follow me. This is the legacy of my family. I am the Phantom. Where have you taken him?
Coming on October 23rd, Double Dragon Revive is the latest entry in this classic series, being developed by Yuxa Studio, famous for their wrestling games, and being published by Arc. The game is a bit controversial thanks to its 3D graphics and questionable art style. The game will offer 4 playable characters, the brothers Marion and Hanzu, but I believe more should be announced in the coming months. We don't have much information about this one, but you can be sure I will bring every piece of news I can find about this one in the coming months.
Feel the dragon's wrath! Tensatsu.
Okay, these were the games we have a date for. Now let's take a look at the games that still have no solid date but are planned to be released at some point this year. After a long time in development, Dancin Divas is finally coming to Steam. Developed by the Puerto Rican studio MERPR 1993, Dancin Divas is a game I can't wait to play, featuring 4 different divas, a very charming art style, some pretty fun combat, and humor inspired by the classics of Tex Avery. The game will offer a ton of levels to play, and we will be able to play with another 3 friends. Dancin Divas is coming in Q2 this year. This is a game I thought was cancelled, but thankfully it's not. Coming hopefully this year, Raraboom features 4 ninja cheerleaders from space who are come to Earth to save our planet from evil robots. The game offers a mix of melee and ranged combat to create some new and interesting ways to destroy your mechanical foes. The game hasn't a solid date yet, but the developer said late last year that some good news will be dropping pretty soon. So far, Raraboom has been only announced for Steam. Coming from a Russian developer, King's Blade is a beat-em-up inspired by the Conan universe and games like Golden Axe. The game will offer classic combat and co-op up to 4 people. One cool thing this game will feature is an AI partner, so if you don't have anyone to play at any given moment, you can still have some co-op fun, just like Final Fight 3. The art style is, how I can say, unique, resembling some medieval paintings. It's pretty interesting, I should say. The game will come out at some point this year, but you can already try a demo on Steam. Developed by the Arab studio Onsonra Games, Diamond Boy is a game that caught my attention. While the art style is not my favorite, the combat looks pretty solid with combos and juggles everywhere. There's little to no information about the game, but you will be able to play this one with another 3 friends. The game appears to be exclusively to Steam and will be released at some point this year. Toxic Crusaders, developed by Retroware, was missing in action for a while, but the developers came back with tons of good news. The game had its combat system revamped, they added more playable characters, tag team mechanics, and much more. Toxic Crusaders has some pretty nice art style, awesome cutscenes, and a cool soundtrack. The game still has no solid date, but I believe we will have some news pretty soon. Toxic Crusaders will be released for PC, Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo Switch.
Come on, Crusaders! It's cleanup time!
Based on a series of moves that of course I know nothing about, Terrifier will offer 4 playable characters, 4-player co-op, a lot of blood and violence, finishers, and a ton of weapons to turn your enemies into corpses. Unfortunately, there's only an announcement teaser released a few months ago, but hopefully we will get something more substantial soon. The game is set to be released this year and it will be available for Steam, PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, and Xbox. Developed by a small studio called Nueve Ratones and published by Rata Like a Game, in John Fox you play as the titular Fox, and you are on a quest for revenge after the Big Toad's minion killed your pet, Milo. Do I need to say John Wick inspired this game? No? Right. John Fox offers some pretty nice 16-bit graphics with lots of backgrounds, some motorbike chase to spice things up, and co-op for 2-player. The game still doesn't have a solid date, but the publisher is promising more news very soon. From the Turkish developer Hero Concept, the sequel to the awesome Mayhem Brawler is coming to all consoles and Steam sometime this year. By the way, you can try the demo right now. The game has an awesome combat system that's way more complex than the first game. It has 8 characters to play, 2 different timelines, and of course, the traditional storytelling, which will deepen even more the already hefty lore of this crazy and awesome universe. While we don't know a lot about this one, Rushing Beat X is expected to land at some point this year. A brand new chapter to the SNES Classic series, Rushing Beat X will put you on the shoes of old and new characters to protect Neo Cisco, a city overrun by crime. The game is being developed by City Connection since Jaleco is no more, and so far the game has only been announced for PC. In development for quite some time, Fallen City Brawl is probably coming this year. Yeah, this is a tricky one, but the game is looking quite good with some nice combat and an excellent soundtrack and awesome graphics. Fallen City Brawl will offer 4 playable characters, 8 levels and tons of weapons to pick up. You can play this one with another friend on your Nintendo Switch, PC, PlayStation and Xbox at some point this year. Another one that should be coming this year, Jay and Silent Bob Chronic Blunt Punch, is another game that has been in development for a while, featuring hand-draw graphics, tag team mechanics and the expected humor from the duo, and probably a lot of suspicious smoke. The game will be available for Steam, PlayStation, Switch and Xbox, and will have local co-op for 2 players.
Bitch!
Released last year as early access, Towerborne is coming in full force this year and it will be free. This live service beat'em up is easily becoming one of my most played games. The combat is excellent, the difficulty is spot on, the graphics are gorgeous and the animations... Oh man, I love the animations in this game. I'm not a fan of live service games, but I can't deny that Towerborne is an excellent beat'em up that I urge you to try as soon as the game goes free. Or you can buy it now and get some cosmetics. Towerborne will be available for Steam and Xbox and you can play it online with another 3 friends.
To brave the wilds, rescue the lost, and push back the threat of the curse. Only an ace has what it takes to save our people. And when we team up, armed with unique and powerful weapons, we make the greatest discoveries. In a world full of surprises. Together, we can give our people the hope we need to survive.
another one released last year as early access and will be released this year, Lost Castle 2, is a cutie beat-em up mixed with some roguelike elements that will crush your soul. Despite the looks, Lost Castle is a pretty challenging game, so be prepared to find and upgrade tons of gears, upgrade your character, and discover the secrets surrounding the Dark Castle. The game is looking pretty sweet and I will bring a review of the early access pretty soon. Okay, now there are 3 games that I'm not sure will come out this year, but I hope they do. They are Streets of Rage Revolution, which was announced almost a year ago and we had no more news whatsoever. Actually, nobody seems to know what Sega is doing with Streets of Rage, and at this point I would be surprised if the game is released this year, but let's see. Developed by the Brazilian Killbyte, Blades and Battles is an upcoming beat-em up based on the legend of the King Arthur, where you have to save Merlin from the evil Morgana. The game seems to have a lot of emphasis on air combos, which is always pretty cool, and will be released probably this year for PC, Switch and Xbox. From the creators of Dead Cells, Tenjutsu is a top-down beat-em-up mixed with roguelike mechanics where you have to fight a crime syndicate that has been terrorizing Secret Garden City. The combat is extremely fast-paced and brutal and honestly looks amazing. The game has no date yet, but it would be awesome if this one was released this year. The game is single-player only and will be available for Steam, PlayStation, Switch and Xbox. And that's it for the video, folks. I hope you guys enjoyed this pretty big list and I hope I helped you find new games to put on your wish list. It seems the year will be way better than 2024. Tell me in the comments which games are you looking for. I'll be here next Sunday so we can talk about the worst arcade beat-em-ups to ever grace this planet. In the meantime, I hope you all have an awesome week and remember, keep it up.